Hey guys, how we doing today? This is Wally with LondonNet.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over some comparisons and differences between A2 hosting and Siteground. So in this A2 hosting versus Siteground review, I'm going to be helping you guys to see which of the two web hosting providers will be best for your personal situation. That way you can create your website today. I also will be dropping some links right below. That way you guys can use them to save big on your web hosting and get off to a really good start. But as always, before we get started with this video, if you guys are new here to this channel, hit the subscribe button right below along with the bell. And that way any future videos, guys, that I put up, you'll be sure to receive them. So as I mentioned before, guys, I'm going to be talking about both A2 hosting and SiteGround, talking about what each of these providers offers in the way of features, the specs of performance, uptime, customer service, all of the things that I feel you should know before getting started with these web hosting providers. Okay, so I've been hosting online with SiteGround for about 2 years, and I've been using specifically their Grow Big plan. And with the A2 hosting, they have a plan that's called the Swift plan itself. So I can only really speak about those two plans, but overall, we will cover some very important points. How is the customer service? How fast do they respond to calls? How knowledgeable are their representatives when you get them on the phone? I think those things are extremely important because, when it comes to web hosting, in my opinion, as a blogger, I think it's the absolute most important investment that you'll ever make for your business online. And obviously, you want to choose well and make it a really great decision that you'll be happy with thereafter. So, I also link to this blog post here that you guys see, on the page right now. I'll link to it right below. That way you guys can read more in detail if you prefer to read about, what I found. All right, so if you look at SiteGround's website itself, being that I've been using their Grow Big plan, I mean, SiteGround offers different web hosting products itself. There's shared WordPress if you're into like managed WordPress. There's WooCommerce if you want to create like a store online, and there's also cloud hosting as well. When you look at A2 hosting, what they offer, they do have shared as well. They also have WordPress, VPS. They have reseller hosting as well. SiteGround does offer reseller hosting, as well as a dedicated hosting that you guys can see. So across the board, you can pretty much get the same web hosting services with A2 hosting as well as with SiteGround itself. All right, so let's talk about shared web hosting itself, because if you're going to create your very first website, maybe you don't already have a lot of web traffic already in place. Maybe if you're going to migrate, if you're thinking about migrating, I should say, from a current host over to SiteGround or over to A2 hosting, you may be interested in shared hosting itself. When you look at both the shared and the managed side, you will see some similarities with them. What I'm going to do is look at the shared hosting with you guys first with SiteGround, just to give you an idea of what to expect, with them before you get started. Today, of course, I will leave links right below. That way you guys can save with a discount with SiteGround should you decide to go with them over A2 hosting. There are 3 plans that you can select from: the Startup, Grow Big, and Go Geek, all of which I have reviews for on my website at learninit.com. The Startup plan allows you to host only one website. It does have restrictions. SiteGround has restrictions. The restrictions really consist of what you get in the way of web space and also web traffic itself that is allowed on your specific plan. And what I mean by that is that with the startup plan itself, you only get 10 gigabytes of web space, and it only supports 10,000, up to 10,000 website visitors each month. With the Grow Big plan, you get 20 gigabytes, and it supports up to 25,000 monthly visitors. The Go Geek has unlimited websites, so you can create unlimited websites as well as with the Grow Big plan. But with this one, you get 30 gigabytes of web space, and it supports up to 100,000 monthly visitors. Across the board with all of um, SiteGround's web hosting packages itself, you get free SSL certificates. SSL certificates are extremely important, guys, being that Google made an announcement in 2018. You may or may not know, where basically they said that for websites that do not have SSL certificates, they're going to be marked unsecure or not secure, and also rank lower in the search engines itself. So SiteGround gives you free SSL certificates across the board through Let's Encrypt, and you'll have access to those for your domains when you create your websites online. You notice off back that the regular pricing for the startup is $11.95. The regular pricing for the Grow Big is $19.95 as of the time of this video, and the Go Geek is $34.95. Now, these introductory rates that you see right here, $3.95, $5.95, $11.95, what I recommend for you guys, that I recommend for any web hosting purchase, is obviously to purchase more than 1 year. Try to purchase up to maybe 2 or even 3 years if you can, because by doing so it will save you big on your web hosting itself. When you guys use the links below for SiteGround, you're going to be saving a huge amount, both on the front and back end. If you only purchase only a year's worth, when it renews, it's going to renew back at the $11.95 rate. So that's why I recommend that, if you're a beginner with web hosting and you may not know too much about it, I always recommend, beginners to purchase, more than 1 year's worth, because it'll save you a lot of money on both the front and back end. As you can notice with the Grow Big plan, this is the one that I use. I've used it to create 12 websites online to date. And, it starts at $19.95 per month, but discounted today with the links below, you get it for $5.95 with it. It does come with some essential features as well as with the startup, as well as some premium where you get super caching, which really helps with faster page loads. I think on average, the 12 sites that I have up online right now that are hosted through SiteGround with the Grow Big plan, I think the page loads are about at 1 second on average. So they load really, really fast, and that's really due to the super cacher that they have, in place with SiteGround as well. You do get it with the Go Geek plan. It does not come with the startup plan, so I definitely think it's worth, paying, the extra $2, if you will, with the Grow Big plan just to get that, as it will help with page loads. And page loads are extremely important. Obviously, if you are, somebody searching for your website online. I mean, today you guys are watching, my review, my E2 hosting versus SiteGround review, and I'm giving you specific information on that. But if somebody was, searching for you online, like with Google, and they have to wait several seconds for your website to load, then, it's a problem. They're likely to bounce off and probably go somewhere else. And so I mentioned the fact about page loads, what I've noticed and monitored with my other, 12 websites, not with learning.com, but with my other 12 websites that I have online that I've created using the Grow Big plan. The page loads are right at about 1 second. 1 second, I think in one given month, they were probably up to like 1.5 or something like that milliseconds. But anyway, really, really fast page loads, and I can thank SiteGround for that. There's staging as well, so you can make changes to your website before you actually make it go live. SiteGround right now has a new interface that is going into place. I'm going to show you what their cPanel looks like for SiteGround. That way you guys will know, what it looks like. I mean, this is what it looks like right now. But they do have some updates that they are doing right now, where basically all new users for SiteGround will see it. So it looks a little bit different from this one right here. And the interface is a lot, cleaner, I would say. And so, they have it in beta right now, but again, for all new users that get signed up, with SiteGround, you'll see what it is that I'm talking about. But anyway, so that's the Grow Big plan itself, and it supports up to 25,000 visits per month. The Go Geek plan itself is really for like developers, people who have a lot of web traffic itself. Um, it will allow you to also host unlimited websites as well. There's some additional features. Primarily, I wanted to mention about the faster support that's in place and faster performance on your service itself. So across the board, SiteGround is very, very affordable. If you are needing just to create one website, the startup plan is ideal for you. But if you're like an affiliate marketer, network marketer, somebody who has a home-based business, or even a developer or a blogger like me, and you need to create unlimited websites, then you just want to decide which of the two may be best for you, just depending on your particular situation. For me, I have the Grow Big plan, and it's an amazing plan. It does exactly what I need it to do. But if you have more page, views, monthly right now, and you want to migrate over to SiteGround, they have a free site migration service, and you could probably go with the Go Geek plan if you think that is best for you. So overall, the pricing itself is really, really nice, and I just recommend that you purchase up to, if you can purchase more than 1 year's worth of web hosting, say up to 3, it'll be a better, choice for you. Now, when you guys go over to A2 Hosting, you notice something that's different in the way of pricing itself. I mentioned that with SiteGround, although I absolutely love SiteGround and I love the way they perform online with my websites, um, you'll notice something different with their pricing itself with A2 Hosting is that one, versus having a lot of restrictions, you see off bat, you'll have a lot of unlimited features as well. So, I mean, with SiteGround, their first tier, the starter plan itself, of course, with A2 Hosting, the comparison is that both will allow you to host one website, right? This one comes with 5 databases, but it has unlimited storage itself. Unlimited storage, unlimited transfers. With SiteGround, you only get the 10 gigabytes that was mentioned before. So I just wanted to highlight that in this A2 hosting versus SiteGround review. That again, with A2 hosting, you're getting a lot of unlimited features. You have some unlimited features, I should say, on the first tier that you don't get with A2 hosting. You do get free SSL certificates across the board, just as with SiteGround. So they're both on the same, playing field, with that. They both offer free site migrations. They both have 30-day money back guarantees. When you look at the pricing itself with, SiteGround, when we go back to it, you guys will notice that just considering like the first tier, the regular rate is $11.95. But with the discount below, you get it for $3.95. When you look at the light plan for A2 hosting, their regular rate is $7.99, so it's significantly cheaper than SiteGround. Um, the discounted rate is $3.92. The Swift plan itself and Turbo, both of which allow you to host unlimited websites. You'll notice that with the Swift plan, it's $9.99. The discounted rate is $4.90. So it's a 51% discount across the board that you're seeing. So the Swift plan was $9.99. You can see $19.95. So that's twice as much for the regular rate. So obviously you guys are seeing that with SiteGround itself, although it's an amazing web host and I really love them, they are more expensive. And I think with good reason. I'll explain to you guys why it's not such a game changer, if you will, with the pricing itself. Although, if you're on a tight budget right now and you're creating your very first website, perhaps costs may be important to you. And so A2 hosting across the board, they do win the battle when it comes to pricing and costs. They are a lot cheaper, they're less expensive. And if cost is more important to you, then I definitely recommend going with A2 hosting. The turbo plan itself, the real difference between these two, obviously you see the $18.99 versus like the $34.95 with SiteGround. when it's discounted, you get it for $9.31. Both plans allow you to host unlimited websites. They have all unlimited features across the board. What's really different about the Turbo from the Swift itself is that they give you up to 20 times faster speeds, on their servers itself, which is amazing. So again, if it's cost that you're really concerned about, A2 hosting is definitely the better option for you. If you are really concerned more about security and performance, like faster page loads, faster customer service, then I definitely recommend going with SiteGround itself. Of course, in this A2 hosting versus SiteGround review, I just wanted to give you guys my personal take on what I think about the two hosts itself. Both hosts are great performers with web hosting. Of course, you can create, your websites with WordPress. You can use Joomla, Magento, Drupal, whatever CMS platform you want to use. I just prefer using WordPress because it's more user friendly, and I just think that it just works out better, for beginners, especially if you're going to be creating your very first website. One website that I wanted to take you guys over to just to help you to appreciate, more in this A2 hosting, whereas the SiteGround review, I wanted to take you to an external website. It's called trustpilot.com. And here, guys, you can see also like some SiteGround reviews and A2 hosting reviews just to see what people think about both of these web hosting providers. And by looking at these, pages, again, it'll help you to see, to have more of a bigger picture. Of course, I'm giving you my personal opinion, what I personally think about it. I do have a review here on my learningnet.com blog itself. This is a personal blog that I post a lot about different web hosting itself. I'll link to it right below, guys, and that way you can check it out. And you can leave your comments at the end of this post just to tell me what you think about it, and which of these two hosts that you prefer. But again, in this video, I wanted to highlight, not only costs, but also performance and customer service, all of which I've spoken to you guys on before. When you look at SiteGround on Trustpilot, you can see that there's 2,433 SiteGround reviews that have been left up there, which is mind-boggling. I mean, lots of people have left tons of reviews, up here. What do they think? Well, 94% say that SiteGround is excellent. You can see 1% say that it's great, 1% say it's average, 1% say it's poor, or 4% say that it's bad. So of the 2,433 comments, 90 people said that, SiteGround is bad. The 1% represents 22 people, and you guys can see that clearly. Of the 94%, which represents 2,278 people, they said that it's excellent. Again, they are more expensive. They do have better performance. They do have faster support, in my opinion, my experience dealing with them over the past 2 years using their Grow Big plan. But this speaks volumes. I mean, 5 stars out of 5-star rating right here, right? And you guys I'm going to drop this link below. That way you guys can check out if you want to peruse and look at more of the reviews, like what people say about SiteGround itself. Then you guys can check that out as well. So again, I'll leave that below. Now, if you check out A2 hosting, wanted to share that with you guys today as well in this review. You can see what people think about A2 hosting. So on a 5-star scale itself, they have 4 stars, which is still great. It's amazing. 746 reviews have been left on the site. Of those, 81% say that A2 hosting is excellent. 4% say that it's great. 1% say that A2 hosting is average. 2% say that it's poor, but 12% say that A2 hosting is bad. So again, I wanted to keep this A2 hosting versus SiteGround review transparent, give you guys both the positives and the negatives. That way you can really consider and have more of the big picture I think that it's important, guys, to have the big picture when it comes to web hosting, because all web hosting providers online um, have complaints or things that users may not like. You may love a web hosting provider, but you may have one or two, or as you can see in this case, 12% of the A2 hosting reviews up here, people said that the service is bad. Why do they say it's bad? You can check out these reviews, on Trustpilot itself. But I think the what really matters most, every experience is different, and I think that you really just need to try it out for yourself. Um, Both A2 Hosting and SiteGround have 30-day money back guarantees. I've been with both of these companies, and I'm very happy with the services that they have. Of course, there are some perks that you get with A2 Hosting that you don't get with SiteGround, as you guys can clearly see, with this here. But with SiteGround, I'm just really, really happy, with their services as well. I've been able to create 12, websites with them, with A2 Hosting's cPanel itself. It looks like this. So that's what you guys will have. And cPanel across the board is pretty much the same with any, web hosting provider, that you guys, get started with. So the point of the matter that I really wanted to highlight, guys, in this review is this. Both A2 Hosting and SiteGround are amazing web hosting providers. Either of the two will perform very well for you guys. I really selected these two because I really love what they do in the way of not only customer service, but also in security. Because you think about websites today. Websites today are prone to hackers and people trying to take over websites. And so, what I really love about A2 Hosting and SiteGround is that they do what's called hardening, and that just adds an extra layer of security, if you will. And they perform daily backups and daily checks, on your websites. I think that both web hosting providers are amazing. They're really great when it comes to creating, websites online. So if you have like a small business, you're an entrepreneur, wherever it is that you live, in the world, I think that you experience really great performance with both of these providers as well. So I just wanted to give you guys my personal opinion about A2 hosting versus SiteGround. You guys can make a decision about which of the two would be best for you. In the comments area right below in this video, guys, tell me which of the two hosts that you're thinking about going with. Do you think that SiteGround would be the better fit for you? Just type in SiteGround right below in the comments area. Or do you think A2 hosting would be the better fit for you guys? Tell me why in the comments below. Also, check out in the descriptions portion, guys. I'm going to be dropping some links down there for you to help you to save 60% off of your hosting with SiteGround, 51% off with your A2 hosting. I'm also going to drop some links of some resources that I think will also be very beneficial to you guys when creating your website. So I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me on this review to the very end. Give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, and if you haven't done so already, guys, hit the subscribe button. That way, any future videos that I put up, you guys will be sure to receive them. All right. I hope you so much success in your endeavors of creating your very next website online. You guys have an amazing, productive day. Thanks.